What if you finally hit $10,000 a month in sales this year? And even better, what if $10,000 a month was recurring, predictable income month in, month out? Now, I've helped hundreds of funnel builders build stable, predictable, recurring $10,000 months, and I want to share the foolproof method to hitting that magic 10K number. We're going to cover what you need to sell, how many clients you need, and how to sell it. And best of all, you're not going to have to send a single cold email. Okay, so this video isn't going to have like a lot of metaphors or stories in it. Think of it as a bit more like a step-by-step playbook for just building a $10,000 a month recurring revenue business this year that runs like clockwork. Now, I'm going to be using software like High Level. Please know this isn't a High Level sales video. Although I am an affiliate of High Level, you can use any software. It doesn't require High Level. So in this video, we're going to cover what service you can build and deliver to clients, how to price your product, where to find clients who want to work with you and pay you money. So let's start with a plan to find clients, your pricing, and how to make money. Anyone can hit 10K a month. It's relatively easy, but you actually need to do something very, very specific. The key is making $10,000 a month recurring revenue that is profitable and scalable. And I'm going to show you how to do that. This here on the left-hand side is how much money you make recurring revenue per month. And our goal is to hit 10,000, right? And this along the bottom is time. The goal obviously is to hit up here in the 10K box. And we want to know, well, how many clients does it take me to get to this number up here? I'm going to save you a lot of hard work, and I'm going to suggest that you start with a price tag of $2,000 a month. Now, what that means is you only need 5 clients to hit that number of 10K a month, which means that we now know over a period of time, if you just keep adding one more client, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at $2,000 a month, you will hit 10K recurring revenue. Now, most of you are struggling to hit this number, $10,000 a month, and it's not because you're not working hard enough. It's got nothing to do with your experience or your portfolio or lack of testimonials. It's because, quite frankly, people are not interested in what you're selling. So in my experience, people try to sell one of 3 things. They either try to sell what's called clever clog solutions, which is when they use words like enhance one-to-one content and building leadership brands that customers engage with, all right? There's the trendy shit, which is like NFT, chatbots, SEO, terms that caught attention but that people don't really care about. And there's also the hype train, baby. Hype, explosive, profitable, hyper-productive, killer video production, like that type of stuff, right? Now, there is a 4th option, of course, which is what I'm basically going to teach you. The difficult part is accepting and understanding that you probably do fall into one of these traps, and it's not necessarily your fault, and there's nothing to be ashamed of here, by the way. This channel is a completely judgment-free zone. Any mistake you've made, I'll guarantee you I've made 10 times worse, all right? We've all done it, okay? My first business website, right, claims to be marketing ninjas who innovate best of breed content, and it makes me shudder when I say that, right? Now, there's a test to see if you can fit into one of these 3 categories, which we don't want to do, right? First of all, which dashboard would someone look at if they wanted to measure, is this working? Okay. The second one is, can your grandmother explain what it is that you actually do to other people? And the third thing is, will other people care about this in 18 months' time? Now, most offers fail to answer all 3 of these, and that's where the problem lies. You see, it's more competitive out there than ever. The barrier to entry for marketing is so low. It's faster and cheaper than ever to start a marketing business. The tools are more powerful than ever, and there are more people entering the market than ever before. Now, you might think that your USP, your unique selling proposition, is that you're actually good. Maybe you're even great, right? You got skills. I've got some very upsetting and uncomfortable truth to share with you. Good and great don't mean anything. I can already hear people typing in the comments, right? Do you think that clients choose you because of the quality of your work or because of the results they believe you'll deliver? Here's what's uncomfortable. The quality of your work has far less impact on your income than you think, right? Let me explain why. Right, think about McDonald's for a second. Are they the best burgers in the world? Probably not, and recent E. coli breakouts aside, they are predictable. You know exactly what you'll get no matter where you are. It's actually one of the reasons they're now spending $100 million on advertising, is to win back all their customer trust, because they need people to think that they're predictable and that they won't get E. coli, right? The key is that predictability beats quality when it comes to creating offers. Your clients aren't looking for the best service. They're looking for a reliable way to get what they want. I'm not the best marketer on earth. I'm not even the best funnel builder in my own business, but I get attention, leads, and clients because I sell people what they want. Clear, predictable results. Is it crystal clear what you are offering? Or does it leave people sort of scratching their heads? Because most businesses fall into one of two traps. Either their offer is boring or it's confusing. And maybe when you look at your offer, your audience might be thinking it's one of these. Your offer doesn't get enough attention because it doesn't tell people what they'll get if they work with you. Statements like, I help personal brands create a constant flow of customers, is a boring, confusing statement. In my experience, businesses have a habit of trying to overcomplicate what they sell because they don't really know what results they can get for the customer. It's like when you ask a politician for a concrete, straightforward answer and they sort of talk around the subject, giving wishy-washy terms that don't really mean anything. If you can't clearly and definitively point out on a spreadsheet or a dashboard what you deliver to the customer, they are going to be confused. And if it's not something they want, they are going to find it boring. I want to get really clear for a minute about the difference between want and need. When you think about what your clients need, what comes to mind, right? Maybe it's better email marketing, like a better email strategy, more detailed analytics, right? Stuff like that. But ask yourself, what do they want? For most clients, it's not strategy, it's results. What they actually want is more sales, less work, and more money in their pockets. More money, less time, less work. This is my mantra, right? More money, faster and easier. This is known as the expert curse because you will try to sell something that businesses need, but if they don't want it, they won't buy, even if they do need it. We know the world needs to eat less sugar, eat less meat, less ultra-processed food with additives, but what the world wants is burgers, milkshakes, and red-colored Skittles. So how can we create something that the customer wants? Well, it needs to fulfill 4 key criteria. 1, they can point to it on a dashboard. The number needs to be able to go up or down. It's basically something that they can measurably have more of or less of. 2, their grandmother can explain it to people. They'll want the same thing in 18 months, and the choice is either yes or no. And I'll talk about that in a second. Now, it's hilarious to me how many people say that they're like a results-driven business that gets people clients results or whatever. And when you ask them, okay, what result is it you actually get, they really struggle to define it. My example is I help funnel builders land $25,000 clients, specifically in 90 days, without spending a cent on ads or creating mountains of content, even if they're beginners, right? That framework has literally made me possibly millions, that exact framework, and it's this: X, Y, Z, X. I see clever clog marketing and trend marketing and hype marketing absolutely everywhere. When you can't clearly define what the client will get with you, you will over deliver on the solution and you'll over explain what you do. Let's take coaches, for example. If we had 2 different offers saying, we build engaging content funnels that captivate your audience and build brand trust. And one saying, I help coaches land $10,000 clients in 45 days without spending a cent on ads. Which do you think a coaching business is more likely to be interested in? You might say, Mike, how can I guarantee that kind of result to the client? Stick around because I'll cover that. By the way, if you want to get this whole whiteboard and all of the notes that come with it, just head over to sellyourservice.co.uk/whiteboard or use the link down below and you can get this sent straight to your inbox. It's easier than you might think as well, by the way. First, who do you work with? Yes, this will exclude 99% of people that you ever talk to. Good. You only need 5 clients to hit $10,000 a month. We don't need hundreds of clients. Who is the type of person that you are going to work with? What type of business do they run? What do they call themselves? If you can't clearly define a specific type of person or business that you work with, you will never be able to find more of them. If I said I was really into animal conservation and I said I want to save endangered animals, your first question would probably be, which animal? Now there is a huge difference between saving black rhinos and saving sea turtles. They hang out in different places, they have different problems, they need to be handled differently. You need to define the type of client that you want to work with. Right, here's a pro tip. If you can't find Facebook groups, Reddit threads, books, software, YouTube channels, podcasts, forums, memberships, events, coaches, LinkedIn groups, X threads, insurance companies, or apps also targeting that same group that you're thinking of, you don't have a market. I remember at uni, a group of people, uni for university by the way, I've just realised this in the script, a group of people trying to start a unicycle hockey league. I'm sure it's very fun, and in Switzerland and Germany I think there is a proper league, but in Southampton in England in 2006, there was just not a wide enough pool of people to be able to create an entire league or sport around. There has to be a community out there, or communities that you can target. An untapped market does not mean a group of people that haven't been defined. It's a group of people who haven't yet had a need served. New mums, audiophiles, garage bands, home engineers, sports coaches, all of these categories are being served already, just not by you yet. Now, I often hear people say that they can't find groups of their ideal clients, and that means one of two things. One, you haven't looked hard enough, or two, there aren't any out there. If you feel that you haven't looked hard enough, then look harder. If you feel you can't find them, then there aren't any out there. Don't try and sell extinction insurance to dodos. So, you work with X type of business. Second, what type of result do they want? Or what type of problem do they want solved? This is the biggest trap that marketers fall into. We feed ourselves so much bullshit that it's like we can't remember what's real or fake anymore. Stop being clever. Stop using marketing industry terms. Stop being a marketer. In fact, I can already prove that you're looking in the wrong place. Most marketers fall into something called the peer jargon effect. You start speaking in a language designed to impress other marketers, not your clients. And it's no surprise because your social media feed is probably filled with content aimed at marketers, not your audience. This environment basically trains you to focus on sounding clever instead of creating offers that your clients actually care about. For example, if I was targeting YouTubers with over 100,000 subscribers, hype or bull or trend marketing might say, I help content creators optimize engagement strategies to enhance audience conversion rates and scale brand visibility. But what they really want is, I work with silver play button YouTubers to launch a $10,000 product so they don't have to rely on ads or sponsorships. If you want to break out of this bubble, start consuming content aimed at your audience. Learn what they care about and what they brag about and what results they really want. We need to know what result your clients want. They'll have a very specific and narrow view of 1 or 2 numbers that matter to them in their business. In their peer groups, they'll brag or boast about a specific number. They'll covet or they'll want a specific thing? How do they measure the success of their business? It'll be something concrete that they can compare month to month to other people. It's also something that you'll be able to point to on a dashboard. Now, here's a hint, it's not authority, it's not brand awareness, it's not impressions or trusts or vibes. What do they hope all of that stuff turns into? What number do they want to see go up or down that makes them feel safer about being able to pay their bills? Coaches want clients. Don't overcomplicate it. Dentists want patients. Podcasters want sponsors or downloads. Mums and dads want hours of sleep. Overweight people want less body fat. Shy men want more dates. And if you can't pinpoint this exact problem, I'll guarantee you that's because you're trapped in the peer jargon effect. Create a new social profile, YouTube especially, pretend you're your client, search for a few videos aimed at your audience, let the algorithm start to serve you similar content, be a gardener or a new mum or a coach, find out what they want more than anything and sell them that. So Y is results. Z, timing. This is where the maths becomes important. If someone gives you $2,000 a month, how quickly do they need results to justify the price? If you help someone get a $2,000 a month client in 2 months, they have essentially spent $4,000 to get a $2,000 return, which is not a good return, right? But if you help them get a $5,000 client in 30 days, that's pretty awesome, right? So there's this saying that timing is phrasing. Yes, the maths actually needs to work out. That means you need to sit down and work out the physical amount of money that you can get someone. But remember earlier when I said that people don't buy because your offer is either boring or confusing? Don't fall into the trap of making something super clear with all the caveats and the asterisks and the small print. Clear can still be boring. I can get you $10,000 clients in 90 days if you've got an email list and a social bot following and a proven $10,000 product. That's clear, but it's also very boring. Like, I can help you get $500 a month clients is clear, but boring. I can help you get 10 $500 a month clients is slightly better, but it's still a bit boring. I can help you make $60,000 a year with just 10 clients in 45 days without spending a cent on ads is way, way, way more exciting. The numbers are exactly the same, we've just phrased it differently. Or maybe something like make an extra $5,000 a month in 45 days with no sales without spending a cent on ads or something like that. Your offer needs to be clear and exciting. Say, but Mike, what if I've done some research and my clients want something that I can't help them get? Start again. Don't get attached to your offers. Kill your babies, right? But Mike, what if I can help people get 10 leads, but I can't guarantee them clients? Then watch as someone who says they can get clients poaches your customers. Don't worry about how to guarantee the result. That comes later. Figure out the timing that makes sense to your audience, both in terms of money and interest. Z. In Z time. And then finally, let's talk about headaches, those sort of roadblocks that stop people from taking action. Most of your clients have got two big concerns about your offer. It's either a myth or a mistake. It's something that they believe will make it harder than it is, or a mistake, which is something they've already tried and failed at. For example, if I told you that you could lose like 10 pounds in 90 days, you'd probably assume, well, I have to go on a strict diet, or I've tried going to the gym for hours before and it didn't work out. Your job is to craft an offer that directly addresses these fears. For example, land 5 $10,000 clients in 90 days without spending a cent on ads. This offer hits two objections head on: no upfront costs and no ad spend. By removing the catch, you make it easier for clients to say yes. Now remember, most people assume that there is like a necessary evil to achieving their goals. If your offer removes the one thing stopping them, you'll stand out and you'll win. Now, you're probably wondering, if you've got this kind of offer, how can you find clients to pitch to and work with? Now, that's why I've got this video right here talking about how and where to find the right kind of clients so that you can target and work with them. So go ahead, watch this video right here if you want to find more clients to work with.